Joining us now to talk more about President Trump's tariff plans, Nicholas Economides, a professor of economics at NYU's Stern School of Business. Nicholas, welcome back to the program.
Thank you, Sean.
It was among the cornerstones of Trump's campaign, and now, in a matter of hours, it looks as though new punishing tariffs are going to kick in. Not only has Trump targeted Canada, Mexico, and China, but now he's threatening, and I'm quoting here, something substantial aimed at the European Union. What's it all mean?
Well, I think it's an it's an opening salvo, if I can put it that way. It's a start of negotiations and possibly retaliations on tariffs from Mexico and Canada, China, possibly EU, others, BRIC countries. We'll see. There is a lot that we don't know about this activity.
That's fair.
And, well, first of all, we don't know exactly what the administration is going to do. That's the first thing.
Right.
The second thing is that we don't know the response of other countries. The standard response is to devalue their currency. So will this happen? To what extent will this happen in Mexico? To what extent will it happen in China or Canada, and so on? We don't know that. Yeah. The third thing is the extent of retaliation. Now, Canada has spoken already about retaliation. Mexico, not so much. China, I don't think so. But at the same time, this is the first day, or maybe tomorrow is the first day of such tariffs. Then we will see what's their effect.
Okay, now we know that Trump convinced his rabid base of supporters that these tariffs are going to generate funds for the United States, a nation coping with an enormous federal deficit. Is it going to work that way?
Well, that remains to be seen. I mean, tariffs are complicated instruments. They could be effective in raising a lot of money, and it also might be that they don't. It depends on a lot of factors. For example, are there close substitutes produced in the United States compared to a product that comes from Canada or Mexico or China? Are there close substitutes? Are people going to move away from the imported products, and how much?
Yeah.
And then to what extent will the three countries that we mentioned going to devalue their currency? So it's a complicated equation. It's not obvious how big the revenues that the United States is going to reap from this action. It's not obvious.
I've talked to a lot of people about these tariffs, and you're the first person that's actually said that it could possibly happen. China has said for its part that no one's going to win in a trade war. Many other economists say you can't raise money through tariffs. It's going to raise money on the goods that come in, and that's going to be passed on to the consumers. Wall Street certainly didn't like it. Big sell-off on Friday, knowing these tariffs are coming. So what's it going to do to grocery prices, fuel, and other consumer items?
It's hard to say. I think that the tariff that is being contemplated on Canadian oil is only 10%, so it won't have a significant impact. But on the other hand, a 25% tariff on cars will make them more expensive unless Mexico and Canada devalue their currency. We'll see. We don't know. Additionally, the objectives of the tariff, as stated this far by the media, are not to make so much money, not so much to make money, but to cut illegal aliens coming in, and also cut the import of narcotics, fentanyl, and so on. Right. So these are hard to remedy. I mean, you can't expect quickly Canada and Mexico to be able to remedy the fentanyl trade, for example.
Right.
They might in 6 months, but 6 months is a significant amount of time. Well, so we'll see. I don't know. But I also say that as far as Wall Street is concerned, I haven't seen so much anxiety in Wall Street about that. I mean, at the first glance, we should really see much more anxiety, but we don't really see it.
I don't know. I've seen a lot of people very concerned about it, concerned about what is the end game. And getting back to the fentanyl, China says that it has routinely updated U.S. Law enforcement personnel on their efforts to combat fentanyl coming into the United States. And Canada, yes, they have said that they're going to retaliate. Mexico, I'd have to disagree with you on that too, says they are going to retaliate. I'm trying to figure out what is the end game here. A lot of people thought it was for negotiations, that somebody would blink. Well, if nobody blinks, the train's going to go off the tracks.
I think it's almost for sure that somebody's going to blink. I mean, there are going to be negotiations. I cannot imagine that we're going to get to the point in which we don't, countries don't import anything from each other. That's completely crazy. A long-term dependency has already evolved on this trade. I mean, we cannot really kill it. But what's going to be the cost and how long it will take until we reach the negotiations? I really don't know. And sometimes I think that even the guys in Washington don't know.